Hey, what's up guys? Today I'll show you a horror film, The Jack in the Box. Spoiler ahead, watch out and take care. An old man is detecting something on the grass with an instrument. Soon after, he finds a music box from underground, with the word Jack on it. The old man takes it home with pleasure, and shows it to his wife. However, after he leaves the room, a pair of giant paws stretch out from the box, and drag the curious wife into the box. The old man hears his wife's screams for help, and rushes back. But it's too late, that his wife has been taken by Jack, the monster in the box. 12 years later, the box is transferred to a small museum in a local town. Casey shows up for his first day of work at the museum, where he meets Lisa, his partner in work and hormones. Lisa introduces the new job to him and then takes him to a utility room. Casey's first task is to clean up the utility room and check off articles with Lisa. He is enthusiastic about museums and history, and starts his work in joy. In the corner of the utility room, Casey finds the box, on which the letters are out of order. He curiously switches the letters to Jack. Soon after, they're surprised to see its disc starts to turn around and play music. A clown doll pops up from the box suddenly. Startled by the strange box, Lisa calls an expert to help identify it the next day. In the evening, however, two thieves sneak into the museum to look for something valuable. One of them discovers the Jack box, and is attracted by the doll, while his partner is searching for property in other rooms. Feeling funny about the clown, the thief plans to take the box away. At this moment, the box closes itself to turn its handle around, and play a song. It is slowly opened after a while. A similar huge paw reaches out, and takes the thief into the box. Not knowing what happened, the other thief is busy packing stolen goods. When he's ready to leave, he sees a terrible figure in the corridor. Frightened, he quickly hides under a table in horror, and tries to keep silent. Seeing the shadow goes away, the thief is relieved a bit. Unexpectedly, a huge paw breaks the table from the top, and stabs into his head. The two thieves just disappear in this way, with the number on the box shifts to 2. That night, Casey wakes up from his nightmare, that his girlfriend is killed. The next morning, when Casey gets to the museum, he finds the door open, and the chaos inside. He calls Lisa immediately to check the surveillance video, but is told that the camera has been broken, and the curator is too stingy to repair it. At this moment, the expert arranged by Lisa arrives. After identification, he tells Casey that this is a real Jack box, originating in the Middle and Late Victorian era. There has been constant controversy about the source of the box. It is said that it's a kind of Pandora box. Once opened, the monster inside will come out to kill people. The expert also suggests Casey turn to another expert named Morris for more details. After the expert leaves, Casey looks at the box thoughtfully. He surprisingly notices that the number has been switched to 2. In the meantime, a tourist comes to visit the museum. While she is visiting upstairs alone, the lights suddenly go off. Jack the monster comes out of the box, and cuts her throat with his sharp claws. Then, the number on the top changes to 3. Casey has suffered from his insomnia recently. On his way to work the next day, he sees notices for 3 missing persons, one of whom happens to be the tourist visiting the museum yesterday. Casey remembers that he heard a scream upstairs at that time, but he didn't find anything unusual when he went up to check. Driven by his curiosity, Casey then searches online for any information about it. As expected, he finds some information about the box on a web page. Jack the monster, who has the appearance of a clown, aims to kill 6 people once released from the magic box. With all that done, he will retract into the box and wait for the next release. Right then, Casey takes a glimpse at the weird Jack box, but is shocked to find the clown slowly moves towards him. Before he can do anything, the curator comes in and asks him to prepare for a toy exhibition. So Casey puts the box into a showcase and goes home after finishing his work. A cleaner is cleaning the museum alone after working hours. When she starts to wipe the glass of the showcase, where the Jack box placed, she's amazed to find the box runs upstairs in a minute. All of a sudden, all the doors around have been locked. Similarly, a huge paw appears from the box with a creepy music. When everything comes back to peace, the number on the top of the box turns to 4. One afternoon, Lisa comes to the museum to find Casey. Listening to the last message left by his girlfriend, he is regretful because he didn't answer the phone in time when his girlfriend called him for help. Lisa doesn't know what to do, but tries to give him a hormone hug. Right then the police cuts in to investigate the disappearance of the cleaner. Casey is the last one who saw the cleaner, so he is taken upstairs for interrogation. He wants to tell the police about the Jack box, but gives up the idea eventually. The police gets nothing useful from Casey, and prepares to leave. Before the police leaves, Casey asks if they believe in supernatural phenomena. However, the police only takes it as a criminal's excuse to cover up their crimes. Despite that, Casey starts to relate all these missing people to the weird box. To figure out the truth, he tries to call the expert Morris for help, but hasn't got answers. Casey then prepares a camera to record what's going on with the box. With no reply from Morris, Casey calls a friend to help search for Morris' address. When he comes back for the box, Casey is shocked to find the box is missing. Right at that moment, the light dims, and the thrilling music starts. As the music becomes urgent, Jack the Monster shows up at a corner, and knocks Casey to the ground in an instant. Seeing the real Jack, Casey runs out, and takes the camera to Lisa, trying to tell her the horrible story of the box. However, the camera screen goes black in a few seconds. Because of that, rather than horrible, Lisa finds his bullshit pretty smelly, and thus takes it as his hallucination caused by insomnia. Casey is upset, and determined to figure out the truth. He then goes to find the person who sent the box to the museum. Unfortunately, the sender has been reported missing. The police suspected that she was murdered by her husband. A while later, Casey follows the address to the sender's house. The owner of the house refuses to talk to him at the beginning, until Casey talks about the weird Jack box. The old man turns out to be the missing sender's husband. Everyone believes he killed his wife 12 years ago, instead of the Jack box. For many years, he has been misunderstood, and has no way to prove his innocence. He also suggests Casey run away, and that's the only way to avoid being trapped in the same situation as him. After leaving the old man's house, Casey is agitated by what he said. He hesitates a while, but still decides to go back to the museum, for he recalls his dead girlfriend, and decides to stop more people from being murdered. Later, Casey takes the Jack box out of the museum to burn it, thinking that the monster should be killed in that way. However, the box appears in good condition in front of the door when Casey gets back to the museum. Jack the Monster climbs out of the box and takes revenge on Casey by dropping him down to the ground. When Casey wakes up from his coma the next day, he can't wait to tell the curator and Lisa what he has found, but no one believes him. The curator thinks he's mad and fires him, then locks the Jack box in a deserted room. Casey leaves with anger when he receives Morris' address from his friend. In a hurry, he pays a quick visit to Morris and learns that he's pretty safe now, because the monster Jack won't kill the one who helped release him out of the box. But in order to seal the monster back to the box, he should pierce its heart with an effective curse. But it won't work if any parts of the monstrous body are left outside the box. Meanwhile, Jack has killed the curator in the museum. Lisa sees the bloodstain and runs to call the police, but gets cornered by the monster Jack, who just crawls out of the box and stabs her in the body. Casey arrives at that critical moment. Jack hears the noises and therefore hides himself, before knocking Casey unconscious. When Jack is about to kill Lisa, Casey awakens and picks up an arrow to penetrate Jack's heart, while yelling out the curse. Sure enough, the monster Jack is pulled back to the box right away. Moments later, however, the police arrive only to see Lisa seriously injured. So they arrest Casey for murder. Before long, Lisa recovers in the hospital. She turns to Morris for help, hoping to prove Casey's innocence. While Morris tells Lisa that the only way to stop Jack is to prevent the box from being opened again. Since the box can't be destroyed, and every person killed would enable Jack to live 3 more years. Now that he has killed 5 people, meaning that the box should be hidden for at least 15 years, so as to prevent it from being opened until the monster dies inside the box. In prison, Casey refuses to plead guilty. To convince Casey, the police show him photos of the crime scene, from which he's astonished to notice that a broken claw of Jack is left outside the box. Realizing that Lisa would be in danger, Casey tries to ask the police for help, but he is still treated as mentally ill and thrown back to prison. On the other side, after going back to the museum, the innocent Lisa tries to bury the Jack box underground. However, she is then dragged into the evil box, and the number on the top switches to 6, indicating that Jack has successfully completed his mission in the end, and waits quietly inside the box for the next curiosity cat to open it again. This is Daniel CC Movie Channel. Peace out.